Hey guys, good morning. It is Tuesday, September 12th. So I just came back from my morning class and now I'm finally gonna go book shopping. I've been reading so much and I finally finished all my physical TBRs that I have. I think I got like 4 books last time, but those took me quite some time to finish. So 2 months later and I'm going back into Barnes & Noble to get more books. I'm trying to get around like 5 books this time, but we'll see. I want to get them all in hardcover because I feel like hardcover books are so much prettier. They also last longer and I really want to build my book collection, so I want to keep them in good shape as well, and I feel like I can do that easily with hardcover books. The bookstore is like 40 minutes away from my house, so it's gonna be a bit of a drive, but I did bring my makeup bag to get ready in the car because I just did not have time this morning. I did buy the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand recently and I'm such a fan of it. It literally lasts the whole day. Both sides. In case you're wondering what books I am planning on getting, so I actually made a Goodreads account a while ago. I always update my want to read lists in like my read lists. I am probably going to go through that. I'm probably going to refer to my Goodreads list while I'm at the bookstore and kind of see like what I find. Although The Secret History was a pretty good book, I would say like it was pretty depressing and it kind of like a dark novel, so I kind of want to read something like comforting, lighthearted. Definitely I still want to continue reading like autumn reads. It's literally fall, so like that's the best time to read those books. The lighting was perfect when I first parked in this area, but it's just like doing something weird. Anyway, just gotta continue. And now I'm going to set on this long ride to go to the bookstore, and I'll try to show you guys a few of the books that I find there. It's currently 7:30 p.m. I came back home like 2 hours ago and filmed a TikTok. And what else did I do? Oh, I ate pizza. So excited to show you guys how many books did I get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these books were on my Goodreads account, so I finally got them. I honestly didn't realize how hard it was to find books that were hardcover. Unfortunately, I didn't even find one hardcover. They're all paperback, but they're really pretty covers. I'm going to show you guys the 5 books that I got today. 3 of them I got from Barnes & Noble and the other one I got from our local bookshop. So these are the 5 books that I got. They're all pretty like blue themed, blue and black, and very fall vibes. Most of these are fantasy, so this is actually going to be my first time buying fantasy books. The last time I read a fantasy book was The Red Queen, and I was obsessed with that book. So the first one is not a fantasy. I think this is a fiction. The cover is just so nice. The class that I'm actually taking this semester, this book is on their reading list, like for our syllabus, and I was so excited when I saw that. The second book I got is The Midnight Library. This book has a very interesting summary, and I've heard really good reviews about it. The summary basically says, we all have regrets, choices we could have made differently, paths we didn't take, other lives we might have led. But what if you were given a chance to fix your past? Enter the Midnight Library. Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then, at the stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to the Midnight Library, where each book contains an alternate life, a possible world in which she made different choices. She is given what seems like the ultimate opportunity, a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived. But things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question. With infinite choices, what is the best way to live? This kind of reminds me of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. So excited to read this, and I really love the summary. The next book I got is A Circus Train. It's When All Is Lost, How Do You Find the Courage to Keep Moving Forward? I think this takes place around like World War II. It's kind of like an adventure mixed with friendship. I think this might be a historical fiction, but I just know it's like a very popular read right now. Something about this just intrigued me, so I got this as well. So that's the 3rd book. And then we have Caraval. It was like the last one left. I was about to get all 3 books, but I kind of stopped myself and I just want to finish this book first and then get the other 2. I've also heard a lot about this. Let me know how you guys like it and if you've read this book. This is like the 2nd book I got that has like a 2nd cover to it, same as The Midnight Library. I don't know if this is like a trending style right now, but I've been seeing a lot of books having like a 2nd cover. It just kind of looks odd to me. The cover is absolutely beautiful. And then the last book is The Lost Apothecary. I definitely would say this is like a very magical fiction read. It has a lot of magic and time travel. So these are all the 5 books I got from the bookstore, and I'm so excited to read. And as I said, I think I'm probably going to be starting with Caraval. Then, as you guys saw, I went to TJ Maxx and I got 2 things that are fall related, fall decor for my room. The first thing I got is this pumpkin patterned pillow. It's so cute. This is going to be like a perfect center pillow for my bed. And then the second thing I got is the cutest pumpkin light. It's basically this glass pumpkin with string lights inside. Cashier literally commented on how cute this thing is. I accidentally dropped it right when I came home and it like cracked. It kind of looks like a pumpkin. So I'm gonna see if I can return this. It just made me so sad. But anyway, I think I can probably put this in like Hey guys, happy Friday. It is currently 9:08 a.m. and I am going on a long road trip to see my friend. She lives a bit far from me. So it's probably gonna be like a 5-hour drive. I'm so ready for this trip. You guys can see I downloaded Caraval on my phone using Audible. In total, it's like 10 hours. So I'll probably finish the whole thing by the time I like come back. This is gonna be like a round trip. So 5 hours there and then 5 hours back. I'm really excited to listen to it. I'm so excited to bring you guys along with me.
Chapter 1. Main gates close at midnight on the 13th day of the growing season. Who arrives later than this will not be able to participate in the game. Before then would be impossible.
It's been like 3 hours into the drive. It is currently 12:30 p.m. and I listened to an hour and a half of Caraval and I'm really invested so far. Driving is like my actual therapy. I've never driven by myself for this long. I'm really loving it. I would just drive if I could. Without a destination or anything, like I would just literally just drive just for fun. But obviously this time I have somewhere to be. It's also like early fall, so I'm just really excited for all the fall things. I feel like I just found my new obsession, which is listening to audiobooks, because I'm enjoying it so much. There's something about driving and listening to an audiobook that's so comforting, and it quite literally takes you to another world. So far, I am at the point where I'm doubting everything. I don't know if Julian has their best intentions in mind, and honestly, their dad is honestly insane. I did not think he would do that to his children. There's so much traffic. So it is Sunday, September 17th, and I'm finally on my way home. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any vlog footage. It was honestly like so insanely busy, but so much fun. I feel like you're having fun when you forget to like take out the camera or take pictures. I feel like I really needed that because the end of summer was super busy for us. Like the whole summer just like flew by, and I feel like this is a really nice breather before I start work again tomorrow. I actually came to Brandy Melville before I go back because we don't have a Brandy, and I've never been to Brandy Melville before. So I really wanted to go in person and kind of just like see it, mostly just because I really want to know what it looks like as a store, because I've only ever bought items online, but I've never went inside a store. So I took this opportunity and went into the city, and I actually ended up getting a few items. They're all like fall related outfits. Starting with the first one that I'm wearing, this is actually the first item I got. It's so comfortable and it's so breathable, and I really like how it has like a straight cut at the end and it doesn't like cinch, and I really love that loose fit. I feel like it's so modest and it's so cute. And then the second item I got is this Toronto hoodie. I have a special connection with Toronto. I'm in love with the city. I really love these hoodies and I love the prints on them, and I always wanted one, so I'm glad I got this one. And then the last one I got is this navy blue crew neck. There honestly wasn't much thought behind getting this specific Malibu crew neck. I was just looking for like a navy blue crew neck because I just love navy blue sweaters and crew necks. I can't wait to wear these constantly. When it comes to like Pinterest and like pinning everything, you'll find me pinning like the most put together outfits. At the end of the season, I find myself just wearing the same sweaters, crew necks, hoodies like constantly. So I might as well get cute crew necks and hoodies and sweaters instead of just wearing the same ones over and over. At least I won't feel that bad about it. So I'm finally gonna start this trip back. Okay, so 4 hours and 22 minutes. All right, let's start this trip back and hopefully it'll be a good one. I'm just gonna continue listening to Caraval. The whole time I was low-key thinking about getting back in my car and just listening to Caraval for 4 hours. And now I'm so excited because I get to do that. So wish me luck. I will catch up with you guys later. I just realized I'm exactly halfway through the book. I'm on chapter 22 and the whole book is like 44 chapters. And so far, I feel like I wouldn't even know what to categorize this book as, but it's kind of like a thriller and like a fantasy. It's more of like a mystery fantasy thriller kind of. If I could describe this book in like one sentence so far, it would be like, not everything is what it seems. That's basically what it is so far, and the main character is just like constantly being tricked, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm currently at the part where the girl doesn't know, or if she's not sure if Julian is who he is, or if he's like someone else, or if he's like a very powerful character in the book. So I don't feel like I really had to wait for the book's plot to like pick up, because it's been so interesting since like the first page. I'm just kind of getting to that point where like I just need to finally know who's who and whether Julian is like the bad guy, because the whole time I've had like a bad feeling about Julian and I'm honestly not even sure. So I think I'm kind of like impatient when it comes to mysteries in a way, but I also enjoy them. Reading this book was kind of like playing a guessing game on all the characters. So Fridays are my day off. I always look forward to my 3-day weekends. Got ready, made my coffee as you guys saw. I am actually going to the bookstore this morning again. It's been a couple of days since I've been to the bookstore, but I actually finished Caraval and I am on the second book because I couldn't wait. I did find Legendary, which is the second book to the Caraval trilogy, and that was actually available on Libby, which is the app that I use for audiobooks. That was actually available, so I already started listening to it. I'm on chapter 8 right now of Legendary, but I do have time this weekend to read, so I'm gonna go pick up the physical book of Legendary, and I'm probably gonna get the third book as well. I'm gonna get those 2 books and I'm gonna start reading at the bookstore. Our local bookstore has the best seating areas, and it's Friday morning, so I don't think anyone's really gonna be in there. I try to take advantage of like weekday mornings to go to places which would typically be busy. Something really exciting came in the mail a couple of days ago. I know in the last vlog I was talking about like trying to find a bubble initial necklace. I think I told you guys I found one on Etsy. It's this bubble necklace in H. I got the one in the gold color. Now I just need to pick out my shoes, like what I'm gonna wear. I think I'm leaning towards Converse, but I'll show you guys my loafers and we'll kind of see which one looks better. I'm gonna go with Converse. I think Caraval might be my first 5-star read. It just felt so real, but like not real at the same time. I usually like can wait a bit before reading the next book in a series, but for this one, I downloaded Legendary as soon as I finished Caraval. Basically, the 2 main characters are Scarlett and Tella. I feel like there's 2 types of people. There's like one side that can like relate to Scarlett. She's like the type A, follow the rule kind of girl, and then Tella is more like the adventurous, curious, likes to explore on her own. I personally relate more to Tella, but Caraval was more from like Scarlett's perspective and Legendary is from like Tella's perspective. Throughout the book, I found myself relating more to Tella even though I got so little of her perspective. I'm really excited to read Legendary and actually have like the whole book from Tella's perspective. That's why I'm really excited to read Legendary, and I wonder what the third book, whose perspective that's gonna be. It is currently 11 a.m. I'm probably gonna be at the bookstore till like 2:30 p.m. and then head out, meet with my friend, and then go to Friday prayer at the mosque and then come back and read some more. So I may have made another big purchase. I got 4 books. I was going in thinking I'd just be getting the 2 books. So I got Legendary and Finale. So these are the last 2 books of the Caraval trilogy. I found Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is like a whole nother series, but it's set in the same universe as Caraval. I've heard that you can still read this without having read the Caraval trilogy, but it is really recommended to read this first and then go on to Once Upon a Broken Heart. And then The Ballad of Never After is the book after this. But I decided obviously to finish reading reading the Caraval trilogy, which is why I'm currently reading Legendary. The last book I got, it's If We Were Villains. So I may have kind of like really enjoyed The Secret History by Donna Tartt a little more than I should have. I still think about it to this day. It was just a very interesting read. I've heard pretty good reviews about this one, so I just wanted to give it a try. It's fall, so like I'm all up for the fall reads and like darker reads, but I feel like a blend of like fantasy and dark academia reads is like a pretty good blend for the fall time. I'm excited to read this one. Apparently this one also ends with a murder among like 5 students or 7. There's like 7 students in this one, so that's like pretty similar to The Secret History. Yeah, so these are all the books I got today. I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna finish these like pretty fast because I'm really excited to read, especially the Caraval trilogy, and then I'm gonna read Once Upon a Broken Heart because I'm so captivated by this universe. So far I read around like 180 pages from Legendary and I really like it. I actually prefer reading it more than listening to audiobook, so I'm going to try and finish this in like the next 2 days, hopefully. During the work week, I really have a hard time finding time to actually read a physical book, so I keep having to listen to audiobooks, but I truly like enjoy reading hardcovers, like the physical books. And now I'm gonna go to Friday prayer, maybe have something to eat after, and then I will see you guys back at home. Today is Tuesday, September 26th. I've picked up the camera after like 3 days of not vlogging, but that doesn't mean I wasn't reading. I was definitely reading. I was reading Legendary. I'm currently on chapter 24. If you guys have the Libby app, Libby, it looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see. The best app, and it's completely free. My library offers it. Make sure to check your library always, because most of the time they have really good services and like resources you can use, especially for audiobooks and like audiobook apps. So totally take advantage of that, because I've been listening to this whole book in my free time for free, whereas on Audible or like on other apps, I think you have to pay around like $10 to listen to one book, whereas like your library offers it for free, so like why not? Like I'm halfway through this book. I just feel like Legendary has been going a little slower, probably because I'm already so familiar with the universe, so it's kind of like taking some time for the plot to actually pick up, but I feel like it's gonna end pretty well. I'm really enjoying Tella's perspective. Her sister, Scarlett, her narrative was definitely more fast-paced, and it made me very like anxious the whole time hearing Scarlett's perspective. I feel like Scarlett is much more of a worrier. It really affects the way the book was written, because everything was like so dramatic and stressful. But for Tella's perspective, I feel like she's more relaxed, so the writing style is definitely more relaxed, more like hopeful, I would say. So yeah, that's basically what I have so far. Really nothing groundbreaking has happened yet, but I'm hoping in like the next few chapters things start to pick up speed. As usual, I'm on my bed, probably gonna read for like an hour and a half, and then I'm gonna have dinner and then do some work related things I have to catch up on, because I have to be up at like 6 a.m. tomorrow. Like my work schedule for this whole year is like really stressful. I have not been getting like enough sleep, but it's okay. It's just till the end of this year, and then after that my schedule is gonna be amazing. I just think it's nice to have hobbies to help me relax, which is why I started reading recently, because I just needed something to focus my energy on other than work. So reading is a very good escape for me right now. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this book. Hopefully something interesting happens, because I feel like I'm getting a little bit bored right now. So I'm on chapter 25. I think I just reached the climax of this book. It seems like, because the action on this page 272, is insane. It feels like at this point, like Tella has just had enough of everything. And I think it really sums it up in this quote where she says, Tella didn't escape her father, a trio of fates, and every other trial in her life to allow herself to be killed by some cold water and a shattered wrist. And then she goes on to say, Death would have to try harder if he wanted to take her back, and she was not about to let him do that. So I think before this, she still had like that sense of fear or pain or like losing something. But now I think she's just like had enough of everything, and she just had enough of this whole game. She just needs to get what she deserves at this point, because she's been through so much. She's lost so much. I feel like it's like the climax right now. I feel like I'm reaching like the peak of the plot, the point where like Tella has had enough of everything. Usually I'm not like a fan of action-packed scenes. There's something about this specific action scene that's just so intense and so well written that I feel like I'm literally in the moment, and I'm just like watching this as a bystander. I'm really a fan of this scene, and I feel like it really adds to the climax. Also, before I get back to my book, I finally gave in to getting LED lights for my room. I have them all around my room, and this is like my favorite color. I always have it at this setting. This is just gonna add a little more color to my room at night. I just finished chapter 26, and the last page of that chapter, I don't want to give any spoilers. I don't know if I'm overthinking this, but Dante just told Julian something that completely is making me doubt everything. They think Tella's unconscious. What Dante told Julian is literally about to change everything. First of all, I think Dante definitely broke his trust with Tella after whatever he just said to Julian is completely breaking the trust. I don't think Tella could ever trust him again after hearing that. And second, I think it changes the whole course of this game. Identity has just been revealed. If this assumption is true, this is probably going to be the hardest thing Tella is going to face. So I just hope it's not true. It is Wednesday afternoon, 6:45. I actually came back from work 2 hours ago. I think I have 70 pages left till the book finishes. It's been so interesting. So many things have been happening. I'm going to make a quick evening snack. Making my Nutella sandwich for an evening snack. This is the rye bread I was talking about. As you guys know, in Legendary, we have Jax, a really popular character, and I've heard so much about him and people being Team Jax, which I honestly could not understand because he was a literal villain. I feel like I haven't gotten to, obviously I haven't read the whole book yet, so I don't know everything, and I don't know why so many people are Team Jax. I keep going back and forth. Sometimes I'm Team Dante, Legend sometimes, and then siding with the Fates, which Jax is a part of. And then I'm so confused because I just want to be right and I don't know who to side with. They both don't sound like great options. I've always thought that Legend has a good side. I still feel like Legend is someone that's really unexpected and actually a good person. I never really felt empathy for Dante. I just feel like he's just putting on a show. I got a little sidetracked, but I'm back in my room. Have my snack. I feel like Tella shouldn't be believing the things said about her mom, but at the same time, I also feel anger towards her mom. I'm literally figuring everything out as Tella is figuring everything out as well. I'm on the same page as the main character again, which is something that I really like because I like to be on the same page as the main character. I also cannot believe Jack's heart started beating again. That kind of made me view Jax in a different way. So I am starting to kind of feel empathy for him. So there's so many characters and I feel like I'm just starting to like most of them. Hopefully this mystery can come to an end because the book is ending very soon. Hey guys, happy Friday. Recently I've been trying to try new coffee orders and things that I see on Pinterest. Today I found something off of Pinterest and I really wanted to try. I actually finished Legendary last night. The ending is exactly what I was looking for. I feel like most of the questions that I had in Caraval are answered in Legendary. I thought it was going to end a certain way because it seemed like the story was about to wrap up, but then something happened in the last chapter and it was so good. One of my favorite things to do after reading a book is going on TikTok and looking at all the book reviews. On TikTok, they make really good book edits. If you like this type of aesthetic, then this book is for you kind of thing. And I love watching those prior to reading books. Anyway, after reading a book, I will go on TikTok and listen to book reviews. It kind of helps me process what I've just read. My rating for this book, Legendary, would have to be a 3.5. I'm trying to be more picky with my ratings. When I actually think about it, Caraval is definitely a 5-star read for me. I feel like once I start reading more books, my expectations will probably get higher. And then Legendary, nothing really new happened. Honestly, it was pretty repetitive with the events that kept happening, but the characters are what has me hooked. The thing about this whole trilogy is that I'm reading the whole book just for the characters. Also, one thing that did kind of annoy me about Legendary is that the amount of times she was doubting whether someone was Legend, it got a little too much. She kept saying, oh, maybe Dante could be Legend, or maybe Jax could be Legend, or that when I actually found out who Legend was, I wasn't even surprised. I was kind of expecting at this point how many times she was foreshadowing that this person could be Legend. It was kind of underwhelming, but it still worked because the ending was just amazing. Stephanie Garber, the author, just has an imagination that's out of this world. This world is just so magical. It's such a unique world and I just still feel like I'm part of it. If any of you guys have read this trilogy, just let me know whose perspective you like more. For me, I personally liked Tella's perspective. I feel like she had more description when she was like narrating, but in Caraval, Scarlett's perspective was kind of like it is what it is narrative, which was okay, but Tella had a lot going on in her thoughts. She would say everything she was thinking, which I liked more, and I do like Tella more as the sister, but I've definitely heard the opposite, so let me know what you guys think about that, because it's pretty interesting. I feel like it really reflects how you view life based on like who you side with. Kind of. It's not that deep, but I feel like it kind of does reflect that. Also, I still have to say Dante is one of my favorite characters, and I'm starting to find Jax a little more likable. I feel like I'll have to know more about him in the next book, because I don't think I really got to know him in Legendary. I just like kind of got introduced to him in this book. But I do hear a lot about Once Upon a Broken Heart and then the Ballad of Never After. I think there's a lot of him in there, so I'm just going to be reading Finale, and then hopefully I can wrap up this video. Okay, I do have to go now. It was so nice talking with you guys for a little bit. I cannot wait to start reading Finale. Good morning. It is Saturday. I just came back from a quick Target run. So I got Finale, ready to read it. I'm gonna sit down on that couch over there and start reading. Apparently you can find full audiobooks of the whole trilogy on YouTube. I didn't even finish the first chapter, so I'm still getting into the chapter. Can you guys believe we're on the last book? And I can finally start reading Once Upon a Broken Heart. So I'm just gonna try to fly through this book, which honestly doesn't seem like a hard task at all. I'm gonna sit down with my coffee, my book, and my annotating pen. It has an extra fine tip and it's a pilot. Hey guys, good morning. It is Monday morning. I have my hot coffee. I am just celebrating the fact that my college has fall break, so I don't have any class this morning. We have our 1 day of fall break. If you guys are wondering, yes, I am really sick. I've been like pretty sick this past week, but I'm in the last final stages where like I sound sick, but I'm actually the least sick. It's just my voice. Like, I literally sound like a man right now. I finally finished Finale, you guys. I don't think I really give you guys much updates on me reading. I just flew through that book. The ending was very mellow. I think it just ended. It kind of gave that happily ever after vibe, unlike the other two books, which kind of left off in cliffhangers, but not completely. There definitely was still a cliffhanger at the end. So just to do a recap, this book was the only one of the 3 books to take place outside of the Caraval, the Carnival, and it actually took place, I think the author is trying to make it seem like it took place in the real world, even though there still was plenty of magic, a fairy tale-esque vibe to it. It took place outside of the Carnival, so it technically took place in the real world. And in Finale, we get both sisters' perspectives, so like a couple chapters will be from Tella's perspective and then a couple chapters will be from Scarlett's perspective. Unfortunately, I didn't really enjoy the alternating sister chapters. You guys probably already know I enjoyed Tella's chapters way more than Scarlett's. Like Scarlett did a lot, but I just really like Tella's perspective, so I just wish that I could just keep reading Tella's perspective, even though it was Caraval, which was all of Scarlett's perspective, that got me hooked onto this series. But then I just fell in love with Tella and her point of view. Also, Caraval like built up that whole Scarlett and Julian connection. I don't know, after Caraval, I really didn't see much of Scarlett and Julian. It's like they're just pushed to the side. I feel like they just deserved so much more airtime in the book, and yeah, I just feel like their plot in Caraval was so good, and now they've just been pushed to the side, and I feel like they're not even my favorite pair anymore. I feel like Legend and Tella definitely took that place. That dynamic is also like, I'm so invested in that. Also, like the mom, the entire second book, Legendary, was mostly about the mom. Something happens in the third book, Finale, that just like completely throws everything that happened in the second book away. Like, literally, what was the point of Legendary? And then in terms of the ending, I definitely didn't expect that, considering the way the last 2 books ended, and like the way Caraval is kind of like a hard truth kind of book. But yeah, this one definitely had like a very fairy tale vibe to it. But I do have to say, Jack's disappearance at the end was so sudden. Like, they just completely disappeared. But I do know that Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After are kind of like there to continue Jack's story and like obviously the sisters' stories. So that didn't completely disappoint me, or else I would have been like very confused. But the part that I didn't really hear much talk about on like Book Talk or anywhere else, Tella's part at the end in her letter, like what she revealed, it really shocked me. Like, I knew she was like an adventurous soul, but I honestly didn't know she was like to that extent, disappearing from one place to another. But in that way, I feel like Legend and Tella do complement each other in that way. My next read is definitely going to be Once Upon a Broken Heart. In terms of the rating for the book finale, I think it would rate lower than both Caraval and Legendary. I definitely think I would give it like 3 stars. I think I was expecting more, but I think it was a book that just was there to wrap things up, and a book that would wrap things up usually wouldn't have many new things happening or have like this insane cliffhanger. Overall, I just really liked it, and I'm just so happy I got introduced to it, and it was just so popular that I just gave it a read, and I'm so happy I finally finished this series. That does wrap up this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Bye!